Hello and welcome to this review for the game Queensland. Before we start, this game is by 999 Games, that's a Dutch publisher, and 2 days before the recording of this review, the founder and CEO of this company passed away, so that's not very good news. But I did think what you're leaving behind is living on in the joy and happiness that people get out of board games, and I think that's a really nice legacy. So yeah, this is a Dutch publisher, quite famous in the Netherlands, because what they do is they take well-known games that are already published or about to be published, and they buy the license to publish it here and make a Dutch version out of it. But Queensland is actually an original. It's designed by Matt Wolf, who is, as you might be able to tell by the name, is not a Dutch person, but either way, he came up with the design, and 999 Games is the one who went for it and made it a reality. So the name Queensland, also a bit of confusion for me there. I thought it was Queensland. But I recently saw a very good Australian film, and one of the characters said Queensland. And I thought, oh, I already recorded the audio for the tutorials that I made, and I said Queensland, so I said that wrong. But before making this review, I Googled to see what the Australian pronunciation is of this territory, and it said Queensland. So I'm still a bit confused, but I'm happy that at least I followed whatever Google was telling me to do as it comes to how do you pronounce this name. Anyway, the story behind this is that, and this really happened, it's based on facts, is that about almost 100 years ago, when they were growing sugarcane in Australia, they attracted bugs, insects, and they thought, let's bring in the cane toad because that will eat bugs. It comes from a different continent. They brought in the toads. The toads didn't eat the bugs, but they started eating the crops, and they multiply quite quickly. So thanks to their brilliant idea, Australia has a pest problem with cane toads. If you're interested in how this game is played and how everything looks, I've got 2 separate videos for that. One thing about it, and the material is all fine, it's a good quality. The toads in the game, they look really nice, like toads with a dark pink stripe on their back. I went to look for them, and all I could find was pictures of toads that did not have any nice colors on them. So yeah, I'm not sure what the stripe is based on, but I'm happy that in the game they look very nice, nicer than I could find them in real life. Anyway, back to the game. The first thing that comes to mind is the game Carcassonne from already over 20 years ago. It's a modern classic, also a tile laying game. But of course, if this would be similar to that game, what would be the point in publishing the game? It is quite different from that. Yes, it's tile laying, and at the end of the game you get points for every completed bit of land that you've made, and that's where all the comparison ends. The first one is, in Carcassonne you collectively all work on the same landscape and you have to claim bits of it. In Queensland, every player is making their own bit of land. You're doing your thing, the other players are doing their thing. So there's also nothing to claim because it's already all yours. What happens, it attracts the toads, and they are a pest. You need to get rid of them, but of course getting rid of them is what gives you points. So I thought it was a different game, in some regards maybe even easier to explain to people than Carcassonne. But that doesn't mean it's a very simple game. Yes, it's easy to explain, it's quickly to set up, and it's easy to understand what you're supposed to do when it's your turn. But for your first game, you can make the mistake of forgetting to plan ahead, because when the game is over, you get a final scoring. And when you do that, you have to remove tiles from your own bit of land. You're completely breaking up everything you have built. Every tile with a toad still on it has to be removed from the farm that you have in front of you. And that if you didn't do your best, like I did on my first try, I just wasn't thinking. I thought, oh, I've got a bit of time left to get rid of those toads. And yeah, if I don't have the time, oh, it's only 3, so that's okay. But those 3 tiles were the ones that put everything together. So I barely had any bonus points at the end of the game, which was frustrating, but it was also fun and very motivating to give it another try. Like, oh, okay, let's see if I can do that again, and this time better. But, well, now you've been warned, so give it a good first try. It doesn't have any adjustments for if you're with 2, 3, or 4 players. 4 is the maximum. It does have a solo mode. I'm not familiar with it. I only tried it with 2 players. So the difference will be the fewer players you're with, the more tiles each person will have. But yeah, I mean, that they're not loads and loads and loads of tiles. So you're playing for an hour. No, it's about, yeah, it says here 45 minutes. That's about it. If you're with someone who doesn't need to take long to decide what she or he wants to do, it'll probably be half an hour. And in this box, the inside of the box, I haven't showed that in any video, there is quite a lot of room for more tiles. So I'm thinking if this game is successful enough, I'm expecting expansions to come. Well, maybe there's another comparison to Carcassonne, which has loads of expansions, but you know, more tiles is welcome, and this box for the base game already has plenty of room for that. Yeah, what else is there to say? Like I said, it's light, it's easy to explain, but still, you know, it requires some planning ahead. Yeah, I'm not really sure what else to say about it. I did have a really nice time playing with it. I don't know if it's going to be available in other countries, but I assume so, and I think you might already probably be able to order this and have it delivered to another country, although that might be costly. But yeah, it's a good one. I enjoyed it. I gave it a 7 out of 10. And yeah, if you've seen the tutorial, which is less than 9 minutes, you'll completely understand how to play the game. And I hope it sounds nice. Anyway, thank you for watching this review. Feel free to leave a comment if you like, and hope to see you for the next one.